Here we go. Now we're on side B. Putting a little tape in, man. I feel like I'm a fucking giant or something. Handling these little miniature things. Fucking great, man. Nick, you know I can get computers, man. I can get cheap computers. We got this cool computer now, man, here. It's like a new product. It's called Book Size. You know, you got laptop, you got notebook, and then...
Well, so, do you have anything to say?
Hello?
Yes, and this is part of the, now the interview, and here she is. Okay, and she's on.
Okay. Now turn me right. Okay, my name is Ray.
Ray.
Ray. Well, that's a nice name.
I don't know your name.
My name? My name is Pudding.
And boy? Boy name?
Boy and girl. Oh, now I know. Nervous.
今天那个猫有说过，他说他去过马槽，告诉人家很多马槽，他们都不晓得马槽在哪里。
What? No.
马槽。
他去那边睡觉吗？啊？
对。
睡觉吗？
对啊。
呃。
我有一次跟朋友去。
跟朋友去。
跟他的朋友去。
是那个睡觉吗？
玩，还有玩。
怎么玩呢？马槽没有玩。
玩外面马槽附近。
OK。
我说的是马槽附近。
马槽附近。
附近。
哦，附近。
近。
嗯。
附近在那个。
附近。
附近是你了。
哦 burn. Hot. Fire. What? So it's over. Oh, 好可爱啊！
哎，
嗯哼。
来，这是香烟呢，我本来以为是香烟呢。哦，是火柴。
哦，那个真的不错。
很可爱，来，来，真的来。
哦，那个真的不错，睡透的。
你把那客人留下来的。
真的。
对。他走了，原来我收外面。
哦，那个。
很可爱，来。
真的，好棒啊 ！Great， 跟那个 Marlboro 一样啊。嗯。好可爱。没看过，没有 mark 的。Nothing。奇怪，谁做的？完全一样。对。100%一样。
对。真的有意思，来。
嗯哼。Perfect， 完美一样。
你可以留下来。可以留下来，因为我觉得这个盒子很可爱，很
meaningful。Interesting。Interesting。用那个字就好了。
Interesting。有趣的吧？
有趣。
比较 较喜欢小小的东西。
小的东西，比方说，
很可爱的东西。就是太小了，没有办法用。小小的还可以用的东西，这样，就是只有可以看而已，太浪费了。
Yeah, that's it, huh? Huh?
Well, as a, you know, just the common man has never had this kind of power. And if you can realize what it is, you know, it's a lot of people just see it as just a game, you know, or just a way of, like I said before, of writing some chit-chat messages back and forth. But you know, really the potential there for the potential is just awesome of what you can do with it. I mean, I know your great little raps and stuff. I mean, you can just send them out, man, and contact some like minds. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. That's definitely what it's all about. So, yeah. Anyhow. Well, shit, I've got all your stuff spread out on my desk here I'm looking at again. I love it, man. It's like fucking Christmas, Nick. Really nice. Really fucking nice. I love it. This thing, Tim Leary, PhD, you know, that's great. He should always have that on there, PhD. An influential psychologist and philosopher has, for the last 4 decades, developed a series of hands-on methods which empower individuals to think for themselves, question authority, fabricate new singular realities, and communicate insightfully with others. This workshop will explore the principles of quantum dynamics and virtual reality, interactive communication systems. Computers, dude. And then these great glyphs. Past this thing about AT&T, I'm going to have to read through this. It's pretty neat looking. Pretty fucking bizarre here. I'm quite sure. Oh, Taiwan, man, there it is. Reach out. Taiwan and Singapore during plan hours. Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. to 2 p.m. the next day, 78 cents a minute. That's cheap. That's very cheap. It's great. 9 a.m. A 10-minute call to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. $10.38. Oh, $7.80 for 10 minutes. Boy, that's really nice. And see, you could use that if you had a modem. You could call me. Ah, gosh, I get tired of telling people about this, actually, and people probably get tired of hearing about it. But, you know, I've got friends here in Taiwan, foreigners. They have computers, but they don't get it, man. They don't get the modem idea. I don't know if they think it's too technical or what, but it's so damn easy. I mean, God, on the board, Nick, we got kids, 10 and 11-year-old kids out there writing messages. I mean, it's just, once you get your feet wet, man, you just want to dive in. This is great, man. Taiwan, 10 to 2 p.m., 10 p.m. to 2 p.m., 78 cents a minute. I think it's costing me around, almost $2 a minute from Taiwan. It's really terrible. Anyhow, yeah, this is pretty neat. Yeah, you have to tell me where you got this. I noticed you tore off the address or something off of this or what. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. In Chinese, too. 现在公用 says, now you can use it. 新台湾 Shangan. It's great. It's great to be able to read Chinese. Anyhow. Dude. What else do we have here? Let's see. You sent me that and that. This book by Ginsberg. I have to find out more about that. On this note here, April 1991, me, Cowboy. My pa left me $800,000, 0.8 of a million. I guess he weren't such a bad guy after all. Ho, 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 Das Nicholas. Ho, 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 by the way, is Taiwanese. They say ho, ho, ho means right. And the message about the tape. Arrgh. Keep looking in the box and it's empty. Ah! But all the others are here. Shit. Got them all here. Got the 2 blanks. Got the 4 set Alan Watts. And then the 3 Alan Watts. Great, man. I haven't had any Alan Watts for so long. All the tapes I have, God, I listened to them maybe 50 times each, man, over and over and over again. Do you know about Terrence McKenna? Have you heard about him? You have to let me know. He's great, man. He's the mushroom man. He's doing all this incredible mushroom research. And he's got a research facility in Hawaii, but he lives up in Occidental, California, not far from you. I mean, close compared to me, at least. And I've got a lot of his tapes, and God, the most interesting stuff. I mean, this guy is totally interesting listening. God, probably one of the most eloquent speakers I've ever heard. And this guy just loves getting out there on shrooms. His way is to go into a dark room and do these things by himself. And anyhow, he just has a rap, great rap. Tim knows him. They do things together, and I've written to him. He wrote me back. The guy's great. I'm not sure if I told you. I think I did. I'm sure I did. Sent a letter to Tim. Didn't hear back from him. But then I was in communication with the company that markets his software, and they told me that Tim had brought my letter in and showed it around the office. So, fuck, that was great to hear that. Meant he got it. I guess you know I think you're the one who gave me the information. His daughter committed suicide. Fuck, I know that really hurt him bad. He was really, I think he had some guilt feelings about how he wasn't that great a father for his kids. Being the kind of person he is, and being a celeb, and being in jail for a good many years. I think his son's doing okay, though. Damn sad about his daughter, though. Shit. I wrote to William Gibson, the writer of Neuromancer, which if you haven't read, you should read, because it's really the primer on cyberspace, cyberpunks, and all this. Tim had mentioned that book, and William Gibson over and over again. I just always just shined it on, just went, oh, William Gibson, science fiction, blah, blah, blah. I finally got a copy and was fucking shocked. I was set straight. Hey, I wrote William Gibson a letter. Wrote him a couple of letters. Never got any response back, but I just told him, hey, Tim knows you, and, you know, this is when I got news of Tim's daughter, Susan's death. I said, hey, you know, if you got a chance, Bill, send him a line. Just tell him you're out there and you care, so you could dig it. Because I know Bill is somebody that Tim does respect and have some admiration for, and there aren't many that he does, because he's just so out there, and not many people are out there with his level. And anyhow, yeah. So your pa, Nick, sheesh. It seemed like you, when I talked to you right after all that, after you got back from Hawaii, it seemed like you had assimilated that fairly easily. And I'm just wondering, how easy really was it? Or is it? I mean, not that you have to tell me or that you have to answer about that, but, you know, I guess I am a little curious just how you feel about that, about his passing, about where you're at, if you miss your dad, if there's anything you wanted to say to him that you didn't get a chance to, or things like that. Probably always something you want to say. I know with my Jack, I got to say just about everything I wanted to. I mean, fuck, it was weird, Nick. I was with him, you know, like, for 3 weeks. And then he died, man. He died like 2 days later. No, he died like the day later, man. Fucking unreal, man. Fucking unreal. I'm thankful for having that time, you know. Because for those 3 weeks, you know, we stayed at the house, and, you know, because the old lady doesn't allow no smoking in the house, me and Jack would go out back, and he'd have his vodka, and I'd have my beer, and we'd sit out there and just kind of bullshit. He'd be fucked up on his drug. I'd be fucked up on my drugs. And we'd be out there just puffing and smoking and joking. And he got to meet Ray. He told me he really liked Ray. Ray really liked Jack. I really heard that he had to check out so soon. But she was glad that she got to at least spend the time that she did with him. Yeah, but during those 3 weeks, you know, I think, you know, just our talks and stuff, you know, it's like, when I was a teenager, I was, you know what I was into, and Jack was so far from any of that scene, you know, that there was just absolutely no really way to relate to the guy. But after doing all my truck driving, you know, I used to run with a lot of guys that were from the Midwest and stuff, and I got to understand what kind of guy Jack was, you know, and just gained a real deep appreciation for kind of homeboy he was. And I think during those 3 weeks, during our conversations and whatnot, he could see that, you know, he could see my appreciation for him and my love for him. Yeah, it was great. I probably told you, too, that, you know, it's like the last night we were there. I don't know if it's I guess the last night, yeah. We, my mom, Stephanie, myself, and Ray, we all went to the Reuben E. Lee, the big steamboat down, or the paddle boat, you know, the big Mississippi boat down there in Newport. They've changed the name of it now. I think it's Charlie Brown's or something, but anyhow, we all went out to dinner, you know. They'd been wanting to go, and we were all kind of shining on us, saying, oh, fuck, we don't want to go out to dinner tonight. Just kick back, you know. But then we said, oh, shit, we should, you know. And Stephanie didn't want to go either, but we said, come on, Stephanie, you know, this is a good chance we can all go. So she did. Of course, later she's very thankful she did. Anyhow, we had a hell of a meal that night, man. Jack was eating all this stuff that, you know, normally he wouldn't, you know. And I don't think it had any effect on his heart attack coming sooner than later. In fact, I think it probably came later as a result. He may have died that night if he hadn't had such a good time. Anyhow, felt pretty good about that. But anyhow, you might have some things you might left unsaid. I know with my real father, there's a lot left unsaid. I don't think about him too much, but when I do, I think, it'd be neat if that fucker was still alive and I could talk to him. Chances are we wouldn't get along too well. I have a feeling he's quite a bit like me, and I think we would have been a clash situation between us two. Just kind of an intuitive thing. But it's weird, you know. The guy was only, what, 30, that's it. He was 30 fucking years old. Fucking. And, yeah, I think of some things I'd like to say to the guy. Never had a chance to. No biggie. No biggie at all. But yeah, $800,000. Is that cash? Just a fucking cash check that goes into your bank, or how does that work? You can tell me something about that. Seems like you're finally getting there, dude. Shit. I got probably $100 in the bank. Ray's got money. She's got some money. I don't know how much she's got. I never ask her. I give all my money to her, anything I make, and she just gives me allowance. Keeps it easy that way. And she's probably got, I don't know, she's probably just got a few thousand U.S. in the bank. I don't ask. Don't want don't know. I just like to imagine it's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, definitely hope you get to meet her soon. Sometime in the not so distant future. She's, her English isn't so hot, but she's getting there. Speak mostly Chinese around here. Half and half, actually. Oh, God, okay. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. We got Bubble Pack. You know, I use this stuff, so I like it. Thank you for sending me lots. Lots of Bubble Pack. You'll probably be getting something in it soon. This tape, I would imagine. That you could trip out on. You could trip out on how stoned out old Russ McClay sounds these days. Even, well, not under the influence of something. Bubble Pack. Boy, this is big fun stuff. You hear that, dude? Oh, yeah. Well, so, yeah. Boy, if this ain't a fucking Rambler tape, I mean, rambling, dude. Be a rambling man. Yeah. By golly. Boy, I don't think there's anything that's quite as neat as getting toys like this in the mail. Especially a toy as cool as this one. This is really great. Yeah, man, I got a lot of toys here now, Nick. Shit, I'm probably getting almost as many toys as you are. How many toys as you got going there? Got the VCR, got the Roam phone, the Wander phone, and computer, of course, answer machine. Now this microcassette. Got a ghetto blaster. Got a shortwave radio. Cassette player. Printers. Boy, lots of toys. Lots of toys. Got my wife. She's a great toy. Boy, is she ever. Whew. Yeah, Nick, so what's happening with the female types, man? Are you horn dogging out or what? Man. That is a toughie, I'm sure. You have all the money in the world, and if you ain't got no pussy, it's fucking a bummer. Now, you be careful now. Don't be letting any girls know you got some money in the bank. Just fucking fuck you, man. Take your money and then you leave you fucked. Now, you don't want that, Nick. It ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. Better off coming over here and getting yourself a wife. Good wife. Get all the sex you want. You could cook for you. You know. All depends, man. I mean, most Chinese girls, they don't have size D cups, you know. So if that's your aversion to Oriental women, then I guess you're out of luck. But, anyhow, just be careful. Those damn California girls, man. You're just the kind of guy they'd like to take for a ride now. So I want you to be careful on that. Think with your head. And, yeah, do you hear that out there, Nick? Chinese funeral. Down in the market. That's live, buddy. That is not a recording. Sure as hell ain't gonna hear that in Costa Mesa. Tripped out, huh, Nick? You know what they do in funerals is they get together with big parade of trucks all dressed up in flowers and stuff, and they go parading down streets. Mothers tell their little kids not to look. Must be some kind of bad luck, I guess. Well, I have in front of me a magazine called Mondo 2000. I probably have told you about it before. Oh, it's very good. In my own humble opinion, it's the hottest magazine out today. These guys were putting out a magazine called High Frontiers, which was like High Times a few years ago. And the guy, you might know these people, but the guy, his name is Are You Serious? Sirius, like the constellation. And his wife, girlfriend, whatever, co-partner, her name is Queen Moo. And they just use those names. The magazine is top quality. I mean, it's on par with the quality of Esquire or something. I mean, it's done on slick paper and extremely professionally done. Anyhow, it's got the articles on reality hackers, on cyberspace, on space age aphrodisiacs, health, diet, you name it, man. It's fashion, fucking great magazine. And it's $5.95 an issue, and it comes out quarterly. I'm subscribed to it. I've only gotten 2 issues, though. I've got issue number 1, I think, and number 2. Yeah, I got number 2 and number 3. I haven't got number 4 yet. Number 3 is Winter 1999. Dear Mom just sent me this and all my high times that had accumulated from October until, I think, April or so. And I didn't want to have them sent directly to Taiwan, as I feared they would be confiscated. So my mom, not knowing what they were, sent it all to me anyhow, and they didn't get confiscated. Funny. They did look in. Somebody looked in one of the high times, but couldn't take it. High Times. A lot thinner magazine now. God, they're the last remaining mag out there on that. God, those guys they're really trying to hang in there. Normal's still hanging in there. I send money to Normal. I send them 20-something bucks a year. I should send them more. They're doing some good things, and they're definitely fighting a good cause, I think. God, if they don't, who will, man? I mean, most of my buddies, my old truck driving buddies, all used to get high, but they're all paranoid now because of the urinalysis and whatnot. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, urinalysis is so clearly unconstitutional, I just can't believe people put up with it, Anyhow, very strange. This tape deck's got a thing called monitor on it. I don't know what that's for. If you got any instructions that come with this thing, I'd like to see it. Nice little recorder, man. God, I just love this little fucker, man. It works so neat. You know, I know you gave this to me because you want me to use it, so that's what I'm doing. It may be a disjointed space rap, a good portion of it about computers. Sorry about that. But, you know, what I'm doing is I'm using it. I will send this tape, and I don't know when the next one will follow, but you might get two. 'Cause shit, I'm already halfway through side B here, and I got more to say. It's great. It's a pretty neat avenue for exchange. Even as a data transmitter, I can appreciate this. Really, floppy disks are exactly the same media. You know, metallic oxides on that same media, same color, everything. You know, it's all related. So yeah, this magazine Mondo, God, great stuff in Mondo, dude. I think you'd really trip out on it. In issue 3, they got this neat thing. It's a Thanksgiving prayer by William Burroughs, and it's stills from a video they did that he wrote this thing. I'll read it to you. It's pretty funny. It's got like, it's 3 or 4 pages long, but the rap is only a few words, you know, very short. They got pictures that were taken from a video. They look like still pictures that were taken from a TV screen of Bill's face with these superimposed things like of American flag against his craggy old face. Yeah, it's called A Thanksgiving Prayer by William F. Burroughs. Thanks for the wild turkey and the passenger pigeons destined to be shit out through wholesome American guts. Thanks for a continent to despoil and poison. Thanks for Indians to provide a modicum of challenge and danger. Thanks for vast herds of bison to kill and skin, leaving the carcasses to rot. Thanks for bounties on wolves and coyotes. Thanks for the American dream, to vulgarize and falsify until the bare lies shine through. Thanks for the KKK, for nigger-killing lawmen filling their notches, for decent church-going women with their mean, pinched, bitter, evil faces. Thanks for Kill a Queer for Christ stickers. Thanks for laboratory aids. Thanks for prohibition and the war against drugs. Thanks for a country where nobody's allowed to mind their own business. Thanks for a nation of finks. Yes, thanks for all the memories. All right, let's see your arms. You always were a headache, and you always were a bore. Thanks for the last and greatest betrayal of the last and greatest of human dreams. Anyhow, Bill Burroughs there by KPDX Production Center, Island Records. Yeah, that's one thing in there. Yeah, some great letters to the editor, some weird shit. Here's a letter. Dear Queen Moo, thanks for Mondo 2000 number 2. I suppose you know you've messed up my whole work schedule now. This issue is so information dense that I've decided to read it from cover to cover. You have a completely outrageous, irreverent, cage-rattling, thought-provoking publication here, enclosed is my subscription. Money well spent. I don't consider myself a cyberpunk, acid-head hacker, or new age anything, but I have a craving for new ideas and alternative solutions, especially when they counter the mechanical sleepwalk that passes for knowledge in the popular media. I'm not brain dead, and I'm fighting like hell to stay conscious. As you know, that isn't easy in Orange County. Anyhow, keep the issues of Mondo coming. They're maddeningly stimulating reading, just the grist I need to keep me from going bonkers in this intellectual desert. Jim Henry, Irvine, California. Anyhow, lots of good stuff. Constitutional bill would suspend Constitution, declare martial law. Something about fiber in the valley. Japan has decided to go all fiber, a $250 billion project. What else we got here? Oh man, there's a lot here. Dirk and Sandy, you may know about them, right? Growth hormones, grow your own growth hormones. The war on drugs and the FIGA. About hackers, stuff about civilizing the electronic frontier. This is quite interesting. Space may be the final frontier, but there's at least one more earthbound arena ripe for socio-political struggle before it's time to start worrying about Martian mineral rights and exploitation of Betelgeuse guest workers, electronics. The United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights were created in the era of handset type before the telegraph, telephone, and broadcast media. Each new wave of technology has pushed the boundaries of liberty and tugged at the coattails of authority by enabling more rapid and comprehensive dissemination of information. There's more communication taking place outside the purview of centralized authority, as well as more light shed on the inner workings of government and businesses. For a long time now, drugs have been seen by the government as the main threat to its control of knowledge and information. Since the 1960s, the particular species of vegetable that I sometimes carry in my pocket could, if found by the wrong person, land me in jail and lose me my property. Now it's my disk drive. The advent of personal computers and modems, coupled with the immense penetration of the telephone network, threatens the hegemony. Is that right? Hold on. Hegemony. That's Hegemony of the government corporate paradigm by empowering millions of individuals. In the 90s, thanks to desktop communication, it is no longer necessary to publish revolutionary documents in the old sense of the word. Information can be propagated across thousands of miles in all directions in a matter of moments, and it can't be stopped short of dismantling the entire telephone system. This genie can never be put back in the bottle, but that hasn't discouraged the enforcement community from doing its saurian best to try. Acting on requests from certain corporations, the FBI and the Secret Service, armed with vaguely worded warrants, have raided businesses and homes of private citizens and seized tremendous numbers of computers and related items, with very few corresponding arrests. The language on the warrants was vague because even in the rare case when the government knows what it's looking for on the electronic frontier, it probably has no idea what it's looking at. Okay, anyhow, some interesting stuff, man. To go on just a little bit here. So here I am watching a beautiful July sunset from the deck of a home overlooking Silicon Valley, participating in a good-natured but urgent gathering sponsored by the two founders of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, Mitch Caper and John Barlow. Their alliance began with an arguably pointless act. Someone, probably an employee of Apple Computer, liberated a relatively minor piece of Macintosh operating code and sent it over the signature of New Prometheus League to a number of industry figures. Mitch Caper, founder of Lotus Development Corporation, was one of the lucky recipients. Caper immediately inferred that the mysterious floppy was nothing more politically significant than an attempt to infect his computer with a virus and sent it back. John Barlow, Grateful Dead lyricist and writer about things cyber, didn't receive a floppy disk from New Prometheus, but because he attended the 5th Hackers Conference in October 1989, he did receive a visit from an FBI agent regarding New Prometheus. Investigating agent Baxter evinced a woefully inadequate grasp of the matter he was investigating. He referred to them as New Prothesis League, Barlow told the assembly, who howled with laughter. He was looking for something called the ROM code. He didn't know what a ROM chip was. He didn't know what code was. He didn't even know whether it had been stolen or what exactly had happened to whatever it was. And I realized that what we were looking at was a microcosm of a whole set of things that could begin to happen with government and society and computers. And it was just a little pinpoint of future shock that was going to blow up into something big and ugly if we weren't very careful about how it got managed. A few days later, I found out that this process was well underway in the Secret Service, Barlow continued. They had come up with something called Operation Sun Devil, and they were breaking into the homes of teenage kids, rousing them up in the middle of the night, coming in with guns, sledgehammers, and I suppose no more knowledge of the situation than Agent Baxter had when he showed up at my home in Pinedale, Wyoming. It's simply beyond the reach or grasp of 99.9% of the people today, Caper added. Given the relative immaturity of the technology and the fact that there hasn't been a concerted effort made from within the industry and the academic research community to make the stuff usable, and if it's not made usable, there's going to be an increasing gulf between the information haves and the have-nots. That's what led us to the whole metaphor of the electronic frontier. All the good stuff that we know about is sufficiently difficult that only a few pioneers, some outlaws, maybe a few vigilantes, and early settlers are comfortable. Out on the frontier, there aren't established laws or practices, Caper continued. We're making it up as we go along, but ultimately we've got to civilize the frontier. We have to allow ordinary folks to come and settle. We need to build the equivalent of railroads, because if we don't take the lead in doing it and it happens by itself, it's probably not going to come out in a way that any of us will really like. The Electronic Frontier Foundation began when Caper, after reading an article Barlow had written on the Well Computer Network, which I told you about, Nick, about his visit from Agent Baxter, visited him in Wyoming one afternoon. Anyhow, it goes on. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Cyberspace. It's the new wave, Nick. It's the new frontier, dude. What's it got to do with spirituality, though? That's what we'd all like to know. Oh, this tape just ain't long enough, dude. I could rap for hours about this nonsense. Now, spiritually, I guess I should give you an update on what I'm up to, besides computer hacking and freaking and all this jive. I'm still doing the Course in Miracles every day, and it certainly remains the guiding light for me. At least God is my guiding light, and I do the lessons. I don't do them according to the book. I don't, if it suggests I sit and do something for 15 minutes, sometimes I won't. Sorry about that. I might just read the lesson and ponder it shortly. But I still do that. I still roll the I Ching every day. I don't have any questions for it. I just roll it, see what it says. I kind of use that as a seed for the day, along with the course lesson. And I enter a little, some kind of entry into that. In other words, I first do a course lesson, contemplate that for a short while, and then I roll the Jing, check that out. I just make an entry into a log, handwritten, not computerized. Thank God. It's not all computerized, Nick. Yeah, so I'm doing that, and basically where I'm at on the spiritual scene is is relationships with people, checking out how I react to things in life, react to people, react to situations, bad news, good news, checking it out and trying to get closer to being at a state where I always recognize the higher aspect in any given situation. You know, that I recognize the spirituality in other people. I know with, as a married man, he laughs. As a married man, it's married life is definitely a challenge to one's ego, to one's sense of freedom and being one's own self and whatnot. I mean, that's perhaps some of the motivation for getting married. I wasn't so sure that if I continued being single that I'd ever want to get married. That the longer I waited, maybe the more difficult it would be to change my ways. I think I did it at a right time for me because I was getting to that point where it really wouldn't matter. But of course, I think marriage is a joke in a way because, I mean, it's just, you know, as your ranch book says, it's a human institution, and my beliefs in the Course, which just say that there are no special relationships, you know, I mean, that idea just doesn't jive with the idea of marriage. Marriage is just, it seems to be such a superficial thing. For Ray, however, I wanted her to live with me, or at least I invited her to live with me, and she couldn't do that without getting married. I mean, because she's a very traditional Chinese girl and traditional Chinese family. And fortunately, they have all accepted me as their son-in-law. But once having made the commitment, once having taken the vows, it adds an interesting element. I mean, here it is. I have this person in my life who, you know, is quote unquote with me, you know, until death do us part, so to speak. And knowing that, it just kind of makes it interesting. You know, I think I've gone back to the Ranch book on its talks about marriage several times. You know, it just says, you know, what I get from it is saying that, you know, it's not easy for two people to be married. It requires a lot of self-sacrifice, a lot of letting go of one's own trips. So that, in conjunction with doing the spiritual work, is it's good for me. It's good practice. So that's what I'm doing on the spiritual thing. I mean, it's for me, it's the Course in Miracles. It's Tibetan Buddhism to some degree. It's Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching. Really, if I could focus it down, it's Lao Tzu and the Course in Miracles. Those are the words that I need to hook into what I believe is what's really happening. You know, I know therein is the peace, and that's what I think is what I'm after, is the peace. It may sound flaky to somebody who doesn't really understand the kind of peace I'm referring to, which is a state in which one can make decisions very clearly, where one can listen to inner guidance reliably, and a state in where people around you can see it, and can see it in themselves, become everyone's spiritual mirror in which they see their spiritual selves. And that's so unlike the world, because the world we tend to project our worst, and we tend to mirror people's inconsistencies, and we tend to see our own inconsistencies in others, which is just so ego world oriented. You know, so anyhow, that's what I'm doing on the spiritual thing. I use the BBS to communicate a lot, but I rarely get a chance to. I don't feel so inspired to approach that subject directly. The closest I get to it is people in the States like hearing from us in Taiwan here, so they like to hear about Taoism and Chinese culture and Chinese holidays and all that sort of stuff. So I get to input a little bit about the Tao. But it's the Tao as practiced in modern day Taiwan is certainly not the kind of Taoism that I am thinking about. When I think of Taoism, I think of Lao Tzu, and I think of what he was saying about about nature, about how the Tao operates, what the Tao is. I experienced it enough on psychedelics, practicing with like psychedelic prayers and stuff to know. I was able to make a deep enough imprint where I've been able to kind of go with that, even though I haven't really stepped out in psychedelic realms for quite a while. I haven't had a really good acid trip for at least a couple of years. Had a good one 2 years ago. Whew. It's good. It's just reconfirmation of a lot of things I knew. As far as a spiritual trip I'd like to take, I would love to get a good dose and go up there to Dark Canyon and set up a real nice little campsite, real nip and tuck, and be set up to be able to hang out for at least 4 or 5 days. The first day, set it all up, get kind of tucked in, check it out, see who the fellow campers are, if there are any. And the second day, go on up, take a dose in the morning, have some good food, some good fruit, and good healthy food. Go hike up a ways up the canyon there, have some good smoke, bring the flute, maybe a holy book, the course, the Tao Te Ching. Go sit up there on a rock, talk to God for the afternoon, and just fry up there all day. And then near sunset, while still glowing, basting, slowly wander down, come back into camp, and have a nice regrouping evening. Day 3. Boy, I haven't talked this much. Really something. Day 3, well, don't go anywhere. Just kind of regroup and reflect. Take a little short day hike. Same for days 4 and 5 and possibly 6. Yeah, that's the kind of trip I want to take. That's the one I dream about. Yeah, of all the places I've been, this is the most greatest place. Dark Canyon, what a place. Fuck, what a place. Yeah. Dream about that. Keeps me going. Saw a great show not long ago about New Zealand. God, what a place that is. Talk about beautiful, man. Whew. High country, man. This is awesome. I ain't far from here either. It's pretty close. Just south of here. Beautiful fjords. Looks like Glacier National Park, which is probably the most beautiful place in the continental United States, in my opinion, in terms of mountains and trees and big rivers and stuff. Of course, where you're at, not bad, dude. Pretty nice up there. God, I know it's nice up there. Shit, big trees up there. Whew, that's a heavenly place there. Yeah, I like that. I think about the trees and the mountains a lot. We got them here. We got mountains and trees here, but Taiwan's different. You got this damn funkiness, this weather we get here. It's it's not particularly agreeable to me. It doesn't bother me, but I prefer drier climate. Anyhow, trips. Yeah, that's spiritual trips. I'd like to step out once in a while, like I just mentioned. Aside from that, it's just, I think the spiritual trip is best when it's just your daily trip, your daily spin. That seems to be the best kind of spiritual practice for me, at least. Well, I'm checking out the tape here, Nick. Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to run out of tape again. Good you gave me 2 tapes. I'm going to be going through these babies. I'm going to have to go down to the market and go buy some more of these little fuckers. There's that word again, Nick. Yeah, I seem to have no problem using that one. God, I've been talking for what? Shit, it seems like 2 hours straight. Burned out, man. This is great. Well, I figured instead of delaying my response to you, I just get right after it, because this way you get the full dose of my energy of responding to you. From getting this package today. Made my day, man. How much fun is it, man? It's a lot of fun. Gosh, I mean, it's a lot of fun. Ah, God, right now after that rain, everything in this house is just soaking wet. Like paper. It's just feels like cloth. God, I hate that feeling, man. It's just really terrible. Really terrible. Things could dry out in an hour or so. Then, God, it's brutal. I can't believe it. Right now I'm looking for a dry towel. Hard thing to find in this kind of weather. I mean, you could dry a towel out. We don't have a dryer. We dry things out in the sun, but you could dry, even if you had a dryer, you could dry out a towel, let's say, and then you could just put it, just have it out, and that baby will be soaking, will be like damp to touch, about 15 minutes. Plays hell with all my electronic stuff. Probably reduces their life by about half. No good. Oh, let's see, shit. Yeah, I still got a few more minutes here, Nick. I'm on the slow speed, dude, so you got your choice of how you want to check this out. Yeah. So, yeah, at the top of the list, dude, is I'd like to know how you made the tapes, and what else? I'd like to know if you ever found the tape you were supposed to send me, or some gremlin got in there and took it out. I'd like to know about you and fax machines. Get a fax machine, dude. They are totally cool. There's all kinds of people that you can connect with a fax machine. Me, for one. I guarantee I will send you a fax very frequently, because I'm kind of getting to that point myself, I like sending letters and stuff, but I don't know. You have a fax machine, it's just so much easier, so much cooler. Letters are cool too. I like that, but I think there's something about that in the modern day age. We like more instant results. I think just the thought of the fact that if you send an international letter, you have to, it'll take a week to get there, and then they'll look at it. The recipient will read, and maybe, if you're lucky, they'll respond soon. after which it'll be another week before you get it, at which time you probably will either forgotten what you said. In my case, I can't because I wrote it down on a disc, but either forgot what you said or have already gone beyond that state of mind and are into a completely different trip. You know, so with the fax machine, you get that instant satisfaction as hard copy. So, I mean, it's good. And it seems like a toy that you would have. How about cellular phone? You got a cellular phone, Nick? What else you got? I always like to know what kind of toys you got. What kind of music you listening to these days, dude? All we get in the radio here is top 40. That's about all I got, you know, aside from my tapes that I have. Shit, I've got about 200 cassettes I brought over and friends have sent me. Some good stuff. Stuff you sent me amongst the best. You and my friend Kirk sent me all my tapes. So I've got lots of good stuff there. All the tapes you've sent me have been great. Super great. Dude, you keep me alive in China. You may not know that, but part of the reason I've been able to hang out as long as I have and dig it over here is because I've had your support, you know. And I stand behind it and appreciate what I'm doing, and I really appreciate that, you know. I know you'd communicate more often if it was happening, you know, and I know you think about me, and that's enough. You know, that's enough. You know, I have so many friends in the States, you know, that I was in contact with. And I've just kind of flaked out, you know. I've got, let's see, I think Kirk, he writes still. There's a few. There's about 4 or 5 people that keep in pretty close contact. And that's cool. I mean, gosh, it's almost been 4 years. You know, I mean, after you've been out of somebody's daily scene for 4 years, you know, it's like it starts fading. God, so I've been here 4 years. I know I haven't seen you since I've been in Taiwan. I'm trying to think how long it was before I came to Taiwan. I think I saw you. Shit. I can't even remember the last time I saw you, dude. I think you came down. You had your van. I remember that. And you came down. Maybe to move something. God, it's a foggy memory, man. Maybe it was a year before I left. I think it must have been pretty close to when I left. Anyhow, dude. This tape's coming to an end here. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you realize that talking this long on the fucking tape machine is a real exercise in something. Dude, so let me know, man. Get Mondo 2000, man. Here, hold on. I'll give you their number. You can call them. Or send them a fax or something. Let's see here. Give you the whole kit caboodle here. Shit, man, I'm looking at this tape. Man, it's getting right down to it, Nick. Damn, man, it's like disk space, running out of disk space. Okay, here we go. Okay, Fun City, Mega Media, Mondo 2000. P.O. Box 10171, Berkeley, California 94709 5151. I'm sorry, 5171. Let's do that again. Zip code 94709 5171. Correspondence. P.O. Box 40271, Berkeley, California 94704. Fax 415-649-9630. And their business number is 415-845-9018. It shouldn't be too expensive for you to call. At least you can call and get some info on it. I think you'd really like it, Nick. It's what I'm into. It's the wave, man. What they're calling new edge. So that's about it for this tape, this little guy. I'm going to go down to the market a little later to see how much these little guys cost. Can't imagine they're much, huh? Or are they? Fucking cool. That's all I got to say. It's totally cool, dude. I love this little fucker. I really love it. What a neat thing to get in the mail. Bye, Nick. Be talking to you. You might get 2 tapes. Babble on for another 2 hours if you could handle that shit. 可以，现在我讲国语给你听，我的国语怎么样啊？还差点啊，不太标准啊。我希望你早一点过来啊！你看来台湾，你看一看啊，给你介绍我的朋友啊，他们都好玩哦。所以下一次你那个资料，你真的喜欢。And now I'll count to 10, just for your fun and pleasure. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. Hey, how about that? Okay, dude. Let's see, getting down to it. On money, pay me home.